Breaking news for several hours now. We've been tracking the very latest coming out on that deadly mass shooting in downtown Sacramento overnight. Gunshots breaking out in the early morning hours. 6 people killed, 12 injured by gunfire. This is the largest mass shooting in Sacramento history. The suspects in the shooting still on the loose right now. Police looking for the public's help to try to find whoever did this. And now the FBI is working with Sacramento police on the investigation.
And all of this started on 10th and K Street around 2:30 this morning. The gunfire erupting outside of a nightclub. Here's what we know so far. 3 men and 3 women were killed, all of them adults. We know there are multiple shooters, and police say there was a stolen gun found at the scene. Now, new video coming out shows a fight and the sound of gunfire, but not who fired those shots. We do want to warn you, this may be hard to watch. Video there. This was from 916 Times. So first, you see a large group of people. Someone pushed someone else onto the light rail tracks. The gunfire begins and dozens of people start running. And then that's when you start to hear those rapid fire shots. That gunfire really just sounds like it keeps going on forever. We counted the shots in the full video and believed to have heard around 76 gunshots. After the bulk of that gunfire, you hear car horns and people running away trying to get out of the area. And we also received video of the moments just after that gunfire with a car speeding away from the scene. Take a listen.
And then just after this happened, officers running toward where they heard those gunshots.
You're gonna get hit!
So again, just thinking about the police running toward what they did not know what they were going to find, running toward the danger there. There's more video of the moments the shooting took place out there, and that is the video police are looking for right now.
And take a look at this QR code. That is how police are asking for the public's help in their investigation. They say a social media video shows a fight that happened just before the shooting. Now, if you have any of that video, you can scan this QR code to send that evidence to police. You will see that at the bottom right of your screen throughout our newscast as well.
Well, we've had crews on the scene all day long, and we're working to gather the latest information coming out.
And we have live team coverage tonight. KCRA 3's Lisa Gonzalez anchors our coverage from 10th and L Streets tonight. And Lisa, investigators have been out there now for about 16 hours. What does the scene look like now?
Andrea and Golston, investigators continue to be out here right now. The crime scene tape is still up, and several blocks are blocked off right now along K Street, along 10th Street. We are at 10th and L, right across the street from the state capitol. But if you look over my shoulder here, you can still see dozens of evidence markers out there, dozens of police officers that are out there, because this is going to be a very extensive investigation. It is a very eerie and quiet scene out here, and I say eerie because normally an hour before tip-off of a Sacramento Kings game, it is much happier and there are lots of fans. And we are seeing fans out here, but they are very quiet. It's a very somber scene as they walk just 2 blocks to where the Kings are playing at the Golden One Center tonight. The city of Sacramento marked by this tragedy that happened in the early morning hours. We begin our team coverage now with KCRA 3's Brittany Johnson. She has the very latest on the Sacramento police investigation. Brittany?
Well, Lisa, tonight we are on 10th and J Street. You know, this is the heart of downtown. You talk about what's around here. You talk about the Kings game, people going down to the Doco Center just blocks from here. Capitol, you have the state capitol just a couple blocks from here, City Hall. So all of this right around this crime scene where it centers in. I'll step out of the way so you can see what's going on behind me. There are various people coming down here tonight. You still have family members looking for loved ones that are coming out to the scene asking questions, and then also people just wanting to know, that's passing by, they just want to know what happened. So here is the very latest on the investigation that we know. Around 2 a.m. officers heard gunshots around 10th Street and K Street and saw people running. On scene almost immediately they were and encountered a large crowd and multiple gunshot victims. From today's press conference, we also learned that officers began to give medical aid, including CPR, to victims that they found, and at the same time worked to stabilize the scene. Out here assisting SAC PD was CHP and the SAC Fire Department, all assisting in that CPR and aid. Right now, we know that 18 people were hit by gunfire. 6 of those people have died, all of them adults, 3 men and 3 women. We also know that a large fight took place prior to the shootings, and we have confirmed that there are multiple shooters that police are looking for at this hour. They are working to identify the people responsible. They have also located hundreds of pieces of evidence tonight at the scene. One of those pieces of evidence found was a stolen handgun. Now, officials right now are working to notify all of the families of those involved, and that notification is being handled by the coroner's office, but detectives say they are working with the coroner to make this happen as quickly as possible. Now, and again, this crime scene does span multiple blocks, so there are still victims out there covered in white sheets there on the ground. We asked police why the victims were still out there. The chief told us today that this is a very large crime scene. It's very complex and complicated, and there is a lot to process out here, so they want to make sure that the investigation is completed thoroughly and accurately because they don't want to mess up anything at the crime scene there. Now, we did hear from Chief Lester today, and here's what she had to say about this shooting.
What happened last night is the biggest and most recent example of what we all know. Gun violence is truly a crisis in our community and has increased not only here in Sacramento, but across the nation. This tragedy only strengthens our commitment to reducing violence in our community and finding meaningful and lasting solutions to the problem. We are working hand in hand with our community partners to focus our resources and efforts where they will have the greatest impact.
Well, some of that shooting was caught on police surveillance camera here downtown. They're going through that and other video surveillance to see if that will help lead them to the suspects in this case. But for now, reporting live tonight in Sacramento, Brittany Johnson, KCRA 3 News.
Brittany, thank you so much. And as that investigation continues, the bodies of the 6 killed lay on the ground just behind me here. And in the meantime, a small memorial is starting to grow here at 10th and L Street. You can see where people are starting to leave flowers, leave candles. It's just beginning right now as the reality of this mass shooting, this tragedy, begins to set in. We continue our team coverage now with KCRA 3's Brittany Hope. She has more on a vigil that has been scheduled for the victims tonight. Brittany?
Right, and that vigil is actually happening in about an hour or so. It's going to be at 7 o'clock at Cesar Chavez Park, and that's just 3 blocks behind us here down on 10th Street. It's on 10th and J. I want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing here people-wise on the scene. We're also on 10th and 11th Street, and I do have to say it's a little bit bizarre. There's 2 different worlds on the side of the sidewalk. We have the scene that you're looking at right now, a place where 6 people were killed in Sacramento's largest mass shooting. But then on the other side, you have City Capitol, you have people who are cruising. It's a beautiful Sunday night. You have Warriors and Kings fans who are walking by, wondering what just happened here. So really just separated by one sidewalk, two completely different universes. But when people drive by, it's causing a little bit of traffic simply because they're looking at what has happened here. I do want to bring your attention to the two tents, the two white tents that are on 10th and K. We know that 2 of the 6 victims' bodies are underneath those tents. We confirmed that from our team who is in the sky in Live Copter 3. We know there is a 3rd victim's body who is on the scene as well. It looks like their body is located on 10th Street out of our view from this picture. The Harris family has been here since they got word about this. If you were just joining us, we have confirmed the name of one of the victims. His name is Sergio Harris. He's 38 years old, a son of 3. So his family is here waiting for that body to be released. Lisa.
Brittany, thank you so much. And yes, it's quite unusually quiet and kind of eerie, especially when you think about what is happening just a couple blocks away at the Golden One Center. It's not a typical pre-game atmosphere. These bodies are still laying here, and as you mentioned, one of them is Sergio Harris. And earlier today, KCRA 3's Aaron Heft had a chance to speak with his family.
Terrifying sounds from overnight, leaving 6 dead on K Street. One of the victims, this man, Sergio Harris. He was the first among the victims to be identified.
I have a child that's laying out there, and I want some answers.
Harris's mom telling us their family stood on K Street waiting since 2:30 this morning. Hours later, police confirmed Harris was killed overnight.
I don't even think this is real. I feel like it's a dream.
His wife, Leticia Harris, shared with us this picture, saying Sergio was a father of 3. She describes him as a provider. He could always be found teaching their children life lessons. She said in closing, "This is a sad and terrible act of violence that took the lives of many. I want answers so I can have closure for my children." In Sacramento, Aaron Heft, KCRA 3 News.
It's hard to imagine the pain that these families are going through. Again, 18 people were shot at. 6 of them died, but this traumatized many more than that. And you can see how many people were down here when the fighting broke out and when the shootings happened. We know that a lot of people are gathering right now, and we want to continue our team coverage with KCRA 3's Lizay Mitri in Del Paso Heights. And she also has more on someone who was staying at the Citizen Hotel not far from where the deadly shootings took place. Lizay?
Lisa, right now we are at Mama Mark's Park in the Del Paso neighborhood. Sacramento area congregations together organized this community meeting here where they wanted to talk about how they can best be there to support friends and family of victims right now, and even witnesses who may be struggling with what they may have seen or heard. Earlier, we did speak with a woman who was staying at the Citizen Hotel in a room on the 4th floor with a window facing what is now a crime scene, blocked off with police tape all day today during this investigation.
We were staying at the hotel for a night. Our home is under construction, so we were just getting away from all the debris and dust in our house. And
Danny Chiswick of East Sacramento stayed at the Citizen Hotel at 10th and J in downtown Sacramento last night. She says her partner was having trouble sleeping.
He was already awake because the crowds out there were really, really loud, and he had gone to shut the curtain and knew that the club would be closing because it was, that 2 a.m. time frame. He went to lay back down, and that's when he said the shots started. And then it took me a little bit to wake up, and then I heard the second half of the shots.
A lot of gunshots, she says. They looked out their window facing London nightclub.
It was at that time that we saw a woman. She was running down the street right in front of the Citizen Hotel, and she kind of fell back and over, and her friends were kind of crowded around her. It looked like she was shot in the stomach area.
Eventually, they watched as police and paramedics arrived.
The part that's so devastating and traumatizing is you're just watching down on people scrambling, and then people distraught because they've obviously lost family members and things, and there's nothing you can do.
The families and friends of those who died are on her mind.
To be an onlooker to that, it just it just is horrifying to me to know that I know reports are coming out of some of the parents and things, and to know that those were their children. I want to send my deepest condolences to them.
She's a mother herself and says this could have easily been her kid. She has a teenager who was just out a couple nights ago, she says, at Doco, getting out of a movie at about 1 a.m. So this kind of thing is scary for parents like her. Live in Del Paso, Lizzie Mitri, KCRA 3 News.
Lizzie, you're right. I mean, scary for parents, scary for everyone. There was a big concert, Tyler, the Creator, at the Golden One Center last night. There were a lot of people in downtown Sacramento. Lizzie, thank you for your report. I will begin to send it back to Golston and Andrea in the studio right now as people are mourning the loss of not just the people who were shot and killed, but also those that are injured and in the hospital right now trying to recover, and all of the people that were a part of this. And again, police are asking that people send in video or maybe call in with information as soon as they possibly can. Golston, Andrea.
All right, Lisa, thank you for that part of our coverage. Just a terrible, terrible day in the history of Sacramento. We continue to follow the latest developments on the deadly shooting with new information coming out all the time and the search for the suspects that are still ongoing.